This conference will now be recorded.
Hi, very good morning and good evening, everyone. Welcome back. Okay, so last session we were discussing about the Ansible, and we just started with some basics, and then we just started with some kind of a roles to structure our project, right? So we just started doing that. So we will continue the same effort now. Okay, so let's go to my account. Okay. So this is the roles. Yesterday we made it, and we started making. We need to start making the code, right? So when it is in cart, okay, it has to run only the cart component. If it's a cart server, it has to run only the cart component. Okay. So how do I create a cart server? So probably I need to make some small code to create a cart machine. Okay. So how do I create the cart machine? Okay. So um, yeah, so you can use shell script, or you can use even Ansible also to create the machines as well. Okay, you can do that. So I think we already did that in the shell scripting. So shell scripting, did we made some launch instances .sh? What it is doing? Yeah, it's actually trying to update the routes, right? So yeah, I think I can use the same script if I'm not wrong. So just take this or take this and keep it here. Launch instances.sh. Just gonna launch every instance. Like it creates front end, it creates catalog. Okay, so echo EC to run instances, use the launch template, and this launch template is using, I think, some kind of spot instances, if I'm not wrong, or whether it is there or not, I'm not sure even. We'll try. And after that, we need to update the DNS record also, isn't it? So that's where the record.json will be there. So the record.json right here. And the record.json is having the information hyphen test, component hyphen test. Okay, so test is no more actually. So the environments, two environments we're going to use is so one is dev environment and the other one is prod environment. So that's where I'll just put it as hyphen dev. Okay, so yeah, that's it. And launch instances. And so now let's see whether how it's gonna work. Okay, so first of all, let me go to my workstation as well. And so here you have cd, and here you have Ansible directory. Maybe it's best for you. cd shop ls. Now sh launch instances.sh or cat launch instances.sh, and if $1 in launch. Okay, so case and also we don't want every instance all the time. Okay, so we just need one by one instance only. Okay, so that is where I just want to little enhance this particular script, so I don't want all instances in one shot. So now I would like to go and give if $2 is empty, if hyphen jet $2 is empty, then do this. If $2 is not empty, else. So then what I wanted to do is the same code, but basically Yeah, the same code, but here this component is actually just going to be $2. That's it. Just $2. So this way, so I can have a control on what instances I want to launch. The second instances, I'm going to call the same script space, a launch space. I will say card, only card instance will be created. That's it. There's a little enhancement I want to make it. So sh launch instance.sh launch card. Yeah, phi is missing. So starting got spot instance, and the spot instance it launched if I'm not wrong. Let's see. Yeah, we got the cart instance. So since it is a cart instance, I wanted to kind of do the or also another thing I wanted to do is I just want to get the IP address of that particular machine. So here we are actually taking the IP address, and the IP address we are taking is what IP address? Private IP address. So this is what even I'm looking for. Okay, and I sorry, and I'm looking for something like here inventory, and so I wanted to give is here echo dollar IP space component is equal to dollar component. Okay, redirect the output to inventory. Okay, so the same step should be done through here as well, or there is some challenge actually involved here. What is the challenge is or I'll just make another script like so make hyphen, I don't want to disturb this inventory.sh. Okay, make inventory.sh. So this is going to just make the inventory, and so it's gonna make the where is that inventory.sh, make inventory.sh. So here it's just bin slash bash. Okay, and I will just go and take this much. I'll put it here for so for IP is equal to, you're going to get this. Okay, and this, and of course this is not needed, this is not needed, and done. You get the IP address, right? So then I will just go and give echo dollar IP. Okay, and space component is equal to dollar component. Okay, so this is how your inventory file should look like, right? So if you go back to your inventory, you should have IP address, and the component is equal to that particular component. So I'm just making the so scripts in such a way that so every day while making the new servers, it makes my life easy. That's it, nothing more than that. Okay, now also another thing, if actually if hyphen z dollar IP, now all the components may not be there. If IP address is empty, okay, then skip this particular one, or if it is not empty, then you can give hyphen n. There is hyphen n option to check whether it is empty or not empty. This variable is empty or not empty. You can check that. If it is not empty, then only do that. So I'll just say that inventory and also while you run this, you empty the inventory file. Okay, this will empty the inventory file. After that, we are going to run that, and after that, I'm going to keep this. That's it. So now let's see. So git space pull and sh make inventory dot sh. Okay, so now cat inventory file, you got only one node, and why I got double quotes? Because there might be double quotes coming from here. All right, and so then I will say pipe exhaust. Exhaust is going to remove that particular double quoting, and again make inventory dot sh. Hey, no, it will not work. So git space pull, and now you run this. Okay, so cat inventory. Now you see this, you're getting this one. Now whether this is the right IP address or not, let's go and verify this here. So this is the one and such this, yes, you're getting it. Now let's say, assume I want another instance, sh, okay, sh, what is the script? Launch instance dot sh, and then launch, and then I will say that you go with catalog, like let's say. So it will launch the catalog instance, and if I go and say that sh make inventory.sh, so just in a minute, you just need to wait for the instance to come out, then only it will work. Yeah, catalog came, and you just run this, and you get the second instance. So to make that particular inventory file dynamically doing it. So yeah, as I mentioned, you remember, so the dynamic inventories, you write your own scripts kind of thing, a very simple scripts, and you can make your inventory rather than actually using the Ansible scripts. And Ansible script is only available for Amazon, like other clouds it doesn't available. Okay, so yeah, so that's fine. Now cat inventory here, so you got two nodes. Okay, this is what I'm looking for, and yeah, I will run again as these two nodes. Inventory file, so I'll remove the catalog. I'll go for only one component at one time. So I will start with cart now. So before starting, any questions? Any questions, confusions?
Hey Raghu, what did we do in launch hyphen instances shell?
Launch instances is a old script only, right? So
Yeah,
it
yeah,
was there,
you
shell
made
script.
some changes in the new one, right?
Yeah. So earlier what we are doing was we are launching every instance. I just little bit tuned it in such a way that you launch one instance also it should work, right? It will launch the instance. And an instance is ready. It is a spot instance. We created one template. We are using that template. Yeah. And whereas for Ansible to work, you require an inventory file, and to make that particular inventory, I'm actually putting so make inventory.sh. So where I'm grabbing the IP address by searching with the component name. So here it is a component name. I'm searching. Component is actually coming from this loop. Okay, and finding out if the IP address is there. If the IP address is there, then make the inventory. Update in the inventory. So echo will echo the output, and redirect symbol will redirect the output to a file. Yeah. Clear? Anyone? Any other questions, confusions before proceeding? Okay. All right. And the next thing is let's do the work which is related to the cart. Okay. So cart main.yml file here is. Now we have something around the cart, right? So we have documentation. Let's go to the developer.com. and I go to wiki. Like go to the cart. So you need to install certain packages. So what are the packages you want to install? You want to install yum install Node.js, Make, and GCC C++. Okay, so I want to install this package. So I don't know what is the value or what is the module for Ansible to do this. Okay, so Ansible, so package module. If you search for that, then you're getting Ansible built-in package, which is a generic one, or else you have yum also here, yum. So we are writing more specific to the CentOS. Okay, we can use the yum directly, right? So I just go and use this particular one. All right, and so now here name, and always you'll find out the examples if you come down. Always find examples. That's the beauty in Ansible. You come down, you'll find out examples, and you can give multiple packages just like this. So this is our case. We want to install multiple packages, and this is our case scenario. Okay, and I will do this now. Name install install Node.js packages. Okay, and then you can simply go with a yum, or you can go for Ansible dot built-in dot yum. Anything works. I already mentioned this. So and then the name of the package is actually going to be is something, and the state is actually going to be is present. Okay, present is nothing but it actually installs. Present is a keyword which is expected. So state present means you're installing. State absent means you're removing. Okay, so that's the keyword that Ansible came up with, and you have to use it. So and you have to give the names. What are the names you have? I mentioned is documentation. These three packages. Okay, that's it. Now let's go and give a try that so really working or not. So now I'll go and say that Ansible -i inventory and -all -m ping module. So it is expected to work, but is it saying that it is not working? Why? So public key. Okay, is there Ansible.cfg? Ansible.cfg is there. Then why it is not using? Let's see. Ping and -u CentOS private -key is equal to not dot slash your home path slash DevOps. So the tilde symbol actually denotes your home directory. That's a shortcut. That's called as tilde. The tilde symbol denotes home directory. You just give yum ping. So still it is a failure. Why is it a real failure? Let's try to do SSH. It's working fine, but why it is not working with my key pair ssh-i slash DevOps and then this one. So but still somehow it is not actually taking this file. So why ssh-i DevOps and then on this it's not taking. Yeah. So it is because the launch template doesn't have any kind of a key pair configured. Okay, so now that's okay for now. I'll use a password. I'll use the password, and also I know the password as well as right. I know the password as well. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say that and Ansible underscore user is equal to CentOS and Ansible underscore password is equal to DevOps 321. Okay, so this much also I would like to put it there and say the Ansible sh make inventory.sh. Yeah, so cat inventory, so you will have the username and password also in the this file. So now Ansible Ansible -i inventory all -m ping. So it just uses that username and password and it will connect. So which it saves my time to avoid the prompting of the username and password and do that, which is not a good practice, by the way. You will never hard code the passwords. But for now, it's okay. It's okay. We're just starting it, right? So we'll go to the key pair, or we'll go with the proper approach of how do we run the things. So that's also the next thing. Okay, all right. And yeah, we'll start with cart and we'll do this. And I'll go to here. Yeah, so you install this particular packages. So now I want to run the playbook. How do we run the playbook? So Ansible -playbook and then -i. So -i inventory and then roboshop.yml file and hit enter. So let's see. So import role, the user role doesn't exist. So let me comment out everything. So the user role doesn't have all the information. So let me, for now, just comment out this much and I will uncomment whenever it's needed. So it's full. So it is connecting only to the cart instance and we'll do that. And the second instance it is skipping, which is a catalog instance. Yeah, so now you see this, what's really happening here is you need to perform a root, you need to be a root user to perform this command. So which user you are connecting to the remote system? CentOS user. And what is the action you are performing? A administrative action like installing packages. Now, now I want to tell to Ansible that, hey Ansible, so why don't you use so a sudo access. Okay, so how can you say the sudo access to your playbook file is? So then I'll say that, so become is yes, and the same so the become can be become is nothing but a sudo in CLI. Okay, also this become can be used in also this become can be used in task level also. Need not to be on the play level. If you give it on the play level, all the tasks will access this particular privilege. Or if you give only to the task, only one task actually use that particular privilege. Okay, so that's the idea. And now let's go and run this. So now you have given become is yes. Okay, become is yes or become is true. Both is fine. So it is trying to install the package now. Yeah, so now it is actually using so installation, and now it is telling the information that so on this node, so one task is changed, two tasks are already okay. Okay, so that's what it is giving the information. And so yeah, it is unreachable is not not equal to 1 or something, but here on this node, so okay equal to 1, so which is this one, and after that the skipping is actually equal to 1, so that means that one task actually has been skipped on this particular node. Okay, if you understand that. All right, and now I will try to go with the next one, so which is after installation the packages. So what is my steps are telling? You need to add one user. Okay, so what is the user at RoboShop? So now add a user Ansible. Okay, how this will do that? Ansible built-in user. There is something called as Ansible built-in user, and if you come down you'll find out definitely the examples as well. All right, so this is a simple example which we have. Now I will go and say here followed with the next step. So the name is create application user. Create application user. Okay. Now it's actually going to be a user module, and the name of the user is RoboShop. That's it. You don't need to give anything at all, and that much is fine. And also in our shell script, if you remember, you are checking whether the user is there, then don't add it. If the user is not there, then add it. Okay, you're putting your own conditions and doing that. Since that is an imperative, but you come to here, it's all declarative. You say that, you know, name is RoboShop, and that's it. It will take care of all the logics. It will take care of all the things. So now what is going to happen? So I will just go to so now it actually added the user as well, right? All right, so that's the next thing. And what is the next thing? So what all the steps you have, you can just follow that. That's it, nothing more than that. So now after that, you need to download one package. Okay, so now so far actually you're trying to download the package. So far you're actually trying to download the package from a call command, right? Okay, I'll also just follow the same thing for now. For now, we'll follow the same thing. Let's not deviate anymore. So I will just, okay. And this downloading, you know, call command is almost same to every component, right? And also if you understand, so these components also is going to be common for cart, catalog, and user as well, because all those three components are Node.js components. Now how do I you know, so keep my code dry? Always keep your code dry, right? So that means don't repeat yourself. Now if I go to the, you know, so catalog, then I have to put the same steps again. There's no point in doing that. Okay, so now I want to keep my code dry, and Ansible supports that as well. So how do you keep your code dry is now create another role, and which you can call it as something like, you know, a common or something, whatever your name specifies. And inside that, I'm going to make a new directory, which is tasks. And inside that, I'm going to put main a new file, but no more main dot this one. I'll just say that node.js.yml file. I'm putting a separate separate file actually. And in this file, I'm going to put this information. On that file, I'll put that information. Now here in the cart, so the cart is going to call this particular role. How do you call this particular role is, you know, so include common role, and the role name is, you know, so here it actually include underscore role, and include underscore role is include underscore role, and so I don't remember the actual keyword. So let's refer the documentation. Include role, Ansible. Include underscore role. Now if you come down, you'll find out the examples, name of the role and task from. Name of the role is common, tasks from is, what is the name? Node.js. That's it. Okay, now you need to have one question here. Okay, what is the question here is RoboShop.yml file, we are using import underscore role, whereas here I will come here, I'm using include underscore role. Is there any difference between them? Yes, there is a difference between them. Import underscore role is actually defined for a playbook to import a role, whereas include underscore role is defined for a role to include another role. Okay, So inside the role, you have to use include underscore role. Inside the playbook, you have to use import underscore role. Okay, there is a difference between them. And if you just change them, it will not work. Those are designed for that way. Okay, so that's a little tricky part. Just need to understand that. That's it. Where to use what you should understand, or else refer the documentation also is fine. You'll understand that. Okay, cool. So then this much you are giving, and you have this much here. So now let's see whether how it is going to work. I made the changes. Cool. It's still working the same way. It's still working the same way. Nothing changes. Now let's go back here, and now I want to make something like new file, and which is download with call.yml file. Okay. So why I'm mentioning download with call, you will understand that later point of time. But for now, download with call.yml file is another, another play. I want to put it on the common because this is common for everything. Okay. And so here, I just want to say that name, and I want to download the file. Okay. So download the artifacts. Okay. Download the artifacts zip file, something like that. And download the artifact zip file. And so how do you do that is by running this particular call command, and you have these commands basically. So call command, so and I will say that shell, this is the command basically. Now couple of things here. So what are the couple of things is you're actually downloading call -l is a card.zip file, right? So this means this is something you should not hard code. But also at the same time, so the URL here is which you need to which you need not to hard code. Okay, so that is where, so what I wanted to do here is I wanted to just say that here I want to call this as a variable card underscore URL, card underscore card underscore URL, I'll say, or card underscore artifact underscore zip underscore URL. Okay, so which makes a little bit more meaning. And this is so yeah, this is also another problem. If I use cart, if I'm using cart, okay, or let's put like artifact zip URL, I want to make it more generic, basically holistic. Now here also I want to say that so something like so component.zip file. Okay, so this much. So this is the one I wanted to do. And so while doing it, I think Ansible will throw you some warnings. Let's look into that. Okay, so now this is the component, and you do that. And now where I have to call this one, I have to call this from the Node.js, which is already there. So name download artifacts, and how do you download artifacts? It's actually going to be include so include, no, I'm not sure. So include underscore task. Now there's another one is available. So there is available something called as include underscore tasks. Include tasks is nothing but you're already in this particular play. Sorry, already inside this particular role. There's another play available, and I just want to import this. Okay, so or include this basically. So now what I wanted to do is I just want to go and say that include underscore task, and which is this one. So here it is include underscore tasks, and what is that? Download with call.yml file. Okay, so this is what I wanted to do, and here a couple of things are there, so which I want to say that so new directory, so which is vars, and so new file, so which is new file, which is main.yml file. Okay, and over here I wanted to keep a couple of things, which is I think here I don't require the main.yml file at all. So here I'm going to use node.js.yml file, and to this include task, we need to send some variables. What is the variables I want to send? How can I send the variables? I think you can just use vars basically. Now I'm going to use vars. Okay, or you no need to send these vars also here. So you're actually calling this particular one from the main one, cart one. Okay, so cart, which I'm going to have vars, I'll just say that main.yml file, and inside this main.yml file, so which the two values we are looking for is cart, component is cart. Okay, component is cart. That is the one thing which are looking from here, component.zip file, and artifact zip URL is another one which you have. And artifact zip URL for this particular one is where is this? Okay, these are the two values which I wanted to keep it over here. Now these two values will be sent to this role is actually going to send those information to this role. Okay, and this role actually is calling this particular task, and this actually will try to call this. This is what my expectation, and I'm not sure whether it's going to work or not work. Let's give it a try. All we're trying to do is we're just trying to download a file. Yeah, so what you're getting is you're getting could not find or access download with call.yml. It's YML. It's not YAML. It's YML. YAML can be called in two ways. Dot in extensions YML and .yml. So yeah, so we got this now fine. And then so ls of okay, ls of not here, it will not work. So SSH this one. So cd/tmp ls. So now you got the card.zip file. All right. So this is working as expected. Now, what are the other steps which you have while you download the artifact? So basically, you need to create one directory, and this directory will be already there by while creating the user. So the next thing is you need to make some name. So create dollar component directory. Okay, so how do you create a directory is there is a file module. You can refer the documentation. Like how do you refer the documentation? Put it in Google. So create directory Ansible. Put this way and you get the mostly appropriate this one. So file, even I started using the file, right? So you'll go down, you'll find out the examples. If you don't find the examples of the generic one, so then you go and read about little documentation which you have here, right? All the sections, you can use that. Okay, so now I want to create a directory. If it doesn't exist, okay, then you just use this one. Okay, file and then path. So file I used it already, and then path is actually going to be is /home/roboshop/component. Okay, so now this is what you have to do, and after that you have to the state is directory. The state is directory. So this much. And also before to this, so before downloading something, I wanted to remove that particular directory. The state is absent. So first delete directory, and after that create directory. So that what happens while you're downloading the new code, the old code will be deleted and the new code will be replaced. Right? You created the new directory, and after that what you have to do is you have to unzip the file. Okay, you have to unzip the file. So unzip a file, Ansible. Okay, there's an archive module. You can just go with that and use this particular module. So what you have to do is you have to unzip the files. Unarchive a file that needs to be downloaded. No, unarchive a file that is already on the remote machine. Yes, that file is already there in the remote machine. and I want to unarchive that. So then this is the one, and unarchive component on remote machine. And where is the file? /tmp slash component.zip file. And where is the destination? The destination is actually going to be is in this path. Okay, so you're going to unzip the file there. Actually, you're downloading the artifact and you're actually unzipping here. So, but unarchive has a capability of downloading the zip file and unarchiving directly. So let's see how it works. First, we'll look into this. If this is working fine, then we'll look into the other option as well. So whatever it is. Cool. And if I just go for so cd/home/roboshop ls, there is a card directory, of course. Cool. And do ls, and so here is the content. Perfect. You are the content, and it's perfectly fine. Okay, and what's next? What is next is
Quick question.
yeah, what?
We are deleting the directory before creating it, right? What will happen with the first time? The directory won't be available. So will it?
It's all declarative. Yeah, that's the beauty of declarative, right? If it is already absent, it says okay, right? In the Ansible, if it is already delete the card directory, it's saying okay because the directory was not there. The directory is there now. If you rerun again, now the directory is there. So now you try to look into that. It says that it is changed. You see this? Yeah, you see this? Now it is actually saying it is changed. Yeah. So now, rather than this way, so what I'm thinking is, why don't I put the URL directly? Okay, if I put the URL directly, what it is going to be here? So go there, cd/home, RoboShop, and then cart is already there. You get the same files, right? So that means what you had done, you had just removed one additional task. You can remove this additional task. There's no point of downloading. You just ensure the directories are there, and you say that download and an archive component on remote machine. That's it. In single shot, you can take care. That's it. The download with curl is fine. Okay, done. You downloaded the artifacts. After downloading the artifacts, what you have to do according to the documentation, you have to go there and run these particular commands. npm install. Okay, so now name, which is run run node.js, or so download node.js dependencies. Okay, how do you do that? So, or I don't know. So node.js or npm. Okay, so npm ansible. Okay, so do you have anything? General npm is there. Now it's not built in. It's actually kept it under some other place, which is called as community.general.npm. And so in the npm, so what actually it is doing, is it really looking or it is really doing what I need, basically install CoffeeScript Node.js package? No, it's only doing one by one. But actually our requirement is we already have package.json. Okay, update packages based on package.json to the latest version. So then so the state is latest which you have, and path and state is latest. Yeah, I can just use this. See, when you go with Ansible, you need to write as much as Ansible as possible. You should not just run the shell commands directly from Ansible. Okay, it doesn't make sense. And actually, it actually goes into /home/shop slash component. Okay, and the state is latest. So now we're actually going to download Node.js dependencies. I don't know what is this loop task does not support when conditional. That okay. So download the Node.js dependencies, which is fine, but let's go to this cart instance. I'm seeing some challenge actually, which is coming here. Actually, it will not happen. It's actually happening. It's actually happening as a root user, right? So is all things are in the root user. Okay. So since the things are happening with the root user, I think the Node.js will have a lot of error there. So it will really not running. Okay. So then what I have to do? I have to do this as a normal user. I have to do it as a normal user. And which user is that? Which user is that? Is a RoboShop user. So then what I have to do is I have to just go here and I want to delete the directory, so which is fine. Now here, but creation of the directory, I want to say that become underscore user, and you do it as a RoboShop user. What is become user is previously you're giving become yes, you're going to a root user. Now become underscore user RoboShop, that means this task will be executed as a RoboShop user, and this task also will be executed as a RoboShop user. Okay, and also followed with here also become underscore user is RoboShop user. Now let's see the behavior. Now I'll just go and give, yeah, this much is fine. Let's run this. Yeah, so now sorry, not here. It is running ls-l here. So now you see this cart directory is RoboShop. Let's go inside cart and do ls-l. Still do everything as a RoboShop user. Now actually download Node.js dependencies would be working as expected. Yeah, perfect. So now ls-l and the Node.js dependencies is also fine. The Node modules came as a RoboShop user. So this is a simple trick we have to make it. Okay. So become user. Become user is nothing but you have to switch to the other user and you want to do the things. Become is only switching to the root user. Become underscore user will switch to the another user which is provided. Okay. So this is what I'm looking for. Done. Right. And the next one, so which is the name, and so the name is what is the next task, by the way. So what you have to do is you have to update the so systemd service file. Yeah, so you have to so put that particular file. Now put this particular file. I don't want to really I don't want to do it through the file which is already there. I want to start using something called as templates. What is this templates? Okay, let me talk about with some example. So now I'll just go with the new file and I'll say that 07 copy and template.yml file. So let me talk about copy and template. So now the name and demo templates, and then the host is actually going to be all. The task is actually going to be is name copy sample.txt file. Okay, so copy sample.txt file, and so the src so there is a copy module which is available, and src is actually going to be sample.txt file, and the destination is actually going to be sample/tmp sample.txt. sample.txt file. Okay, so let me create a sample.txt file. Okay, so not here. CD basics with space tool. So Ansible -playbook -i. So I don't want to go to any kind of a remote node or something. I just want to test it locally. So localhost comma. So what I did is, so Ansible -playbook -i localhost comma. That means it just connect to the local system and do that. That's it. Nothing more than that. Comma is mandatory there. Okay. If you don't give comma, it will consider that localhost is a file and it will say that file doesn't exist. Got the point? Okay. The comma is mandatory there, and you want to say that it is 07 this one. Now what it is telling is localhost permission denied. Yeah. Localhost hyphen. Yeah, the private key might not be working. Hyphen e Ansible underscore password 321. Now you see this. Now we in the same system only it copied the sample.txt file. That's it. Nothing more than that. You got hello, which is fine. What it did, it actually copied the file from your code to the remote node. Okay, and the file is fine. So that's a simple copy. But actually, you know, so now let's say hello. I have some variables. Hello URL. Okay. So the next one is gonna be like this. So now cat/tmp.sample.txt. So then the URL is coming as is. The URL is coming as is. It's not getting replaced with any kind of a variable there, right? So copy is going to simply copy the file. It doesn't bother about what is the content you have inside that, and if you have any variables and you want to replace them. Now, whereas the next one which comes over here is template. So copy sample.txt template now, and so it's actually going to be a template now, and so the src is actually going to be sample.txt, and the destination is actually going to be /tmp/ okay, so some template.txt file. Okay, also at the same time, so then you come to the vars and you say that URL is google.com. This much I wanted to push, and I will just go and run this. Okay, now cat/tmp template.txt file. Now you see this one, and cat/tmp, the copy one is simply the same URL only. Okay, so now it is replacing. So I want to gain this particular templating approach. Okay, I want to use this templating approach. So what I wanted to do here is I wanted to put some templates here. So there is a directory which supports in the role, which is templates. Okay, in the templates I want to put like systemd.service file. Okay, and whatever the content you had in systemd.service file, I'll just put it there. So cat systemd.service file. So you have certain content. I will just take this content right here. So cart service and user is RoboShop, Redis host. So Redis host is actually going to be changed by Redis endpoint. Okay, so Redis endpoint, and the card is actually going to be changed as cart endpoint. Okay, and this is what you have, right? Now I want to put these particular variables, and I wanted to deal the things, and yeah. Now I want to copy this particular file. Okay, so in the Node.js template, so now what you have to do is setup service system D. Okay, so setup system D service. All right, And how do I do that? So I'll just say that, so include underscore tasks. I'll just go for, so systemd setup dot YAML file. Okay, so I'm going to make another file. So why I'm making another file is this is not only to the Node.js, this is common for every component. So that's where systemd hyphen setup dot YAML file. So that's the reason. Okay, I want to make it a common one. First thing, so what I have to do is, so copy the systemd service file. Okay, so how do you copy? By using a template. What's the source? It's actually going to be a systemd dot service file, and the destination is actually going to be slash etc slash systemd slash system slash component dot service file. Component dot service file. All right, cool. And so now let's see whether it works or not. First of all, this much is working or not. So systemd is failing because Redis endpoint is not there, of course. So the Redis endpoint, I want to declare the variables in the common. I'll say Redis underscore endpoint is equal to Redis hyphen. There's an environment variable. Okay, so Redis hyphen environment dot. So there is a domain basically. So there's a domain. Okay, and this much I want to give. And catalog underscore endpoint is also nothing but catalog hyphen env dot domain. Okay, so this much I want to put it. And or else, like let's say this is the endpoints. Now directly you can keep this information directly there also. So you can go to the systemd service file, and rather than the Redis endpoint, you say this, and rather than the catalog endpoint, you say this. This is also fine. Anything is fine. So this is also okay. And you require two more variables now. And the domain, basically, I can put it on the roboshop.yml file. This is the whole, the whole play level, it is same. So I will say vars, and I will go for vars, and I will go for domain is nothing but DevOps b53.tk. Okay. So whereas coming to the environment, so I'll pass it over the command line. So command line, I'll pass it all the time. So now hyphen env is equal to dev environment. Cool, it worked fine. Cat etc systemd system slash Redis hyphen dev catalog hyphen dev. Right now you're making the code in such a way that it works for multi environment. So tomorrow if I'm running this again as a prod, I will say hyphen prod. Okay, so and that's how we do that. All right, and Yeah, so that's how you do it. And the next thing which we are going to do is the systemd followed with some more setup. So what we have to do is name, so start service. Okay, so start service. All right, so how do you do that is there is a systemd module, and the name is actually going to be is component. Okay, and the state is I'll go for restarted, so it is let it restart. And also enabled is nothing but yes, so at the time of system reboot you want to start this service, then enabled is yes, of course. And also there is one more option, so systemd also will be there. So systemd module ansible, if you go there, daemon reload is also yes. So that's the step which you have, right? Daemon reload, you can do it in a single shot here. Daemon reload is also going to be yes, because some changes might come here and those changes you want to replicate here, so then this is what you have, and that's it. And this might fail basically to start the service. Why? Because that endpoints are not there. But yeah, let's see which endpoints. Redis -dev is not there, catalog -dev is not there. Cool. So but anyhow it will fail, I think. So tail -f/var log messages. So you see this, the Redis error. Okay, cool, that's also not a problem, so which is fine. So your cart service is done. Now since you keep your code dry, so then you try to see this now. You have main.yml file, so that's it, you did nothing basically. And you go to the cart, I mean catalog, and you go to the task main.yml file, that's it, you keep it, that's it, you're done. And the variables, you have some variables here, so you put it here. Okay, so now here in the main.yml file, so you're going to put it like, so catalog, or also you need to change the URL which is related to the catalog, and you have to give it there. Okay, that's it, the URL is also changed. And there is a templates directory, you put it here. And so you can find out that in the repos. What is that? Catalog system service file. So catalog service user is RoboShop, MongoDB is so mongo -env dot domain. Okay, that's it. And you run this, and at the same time go to the RoboShop, and you have the catalog component. So I see, okay, fine, yeah, no problem. Okay, sorry. It's going through. Now if I log into that system, okay, ls cd / home / roboshop ls -l, so cd catalog ls and ls -l. You see this. Okay, cool. Start catalog service is also fine. All right, perfect. And tail -f /var log messages. You are getting MongoDB error, which is also okay. Mongo network error, which is fine. No issues. Okay. So now you see this, how simple it went through, right? So since you made your code dry, now how simple it was. And now cart is also sorry, not cart, user is also same thing. Okay. Now you say user and now you say user, and then let's go to the user and let's go to the task.yml file and put it here. Okay, done. And then templates directory you copy there, put it here. Okay, main.yml file you copy there, put it here. Okay, main.yml files you are going to say that this is a user, and also all right, and go to the templates and system service file. So I'll go to the repos and I'll say okay, done. So user service is also there. Then I'll go and give, but user server is not there. So sh launch instance.sh and launch, and then user. Sh make inventory.sh, just a minute. Perfect. So now so let's run this. Now it run the user as well. Let's see. sorry, something is unreachable. So what is unreachable? I think the node didn't came up and we ran it immediately. So let's see now.
Hi, Raghu. How can
Yeah.
we access the repo for this project? I mean, the Terraform and the shell scripting, I got the link.
So it is followed with the same thing, right? So if you go there and if you go to the Azure DevOps and if you sign in with your email, which you have shared with me, like wherever you are getting the videos and all, right? So if you just log in with that particular one, you should be able to. Or else, like let's say if you're having a problem in that also, like I can even help on that. I need to schedule this. Where is that? Get sent to GitHub, right? Yeah. Now if I go to github.com/, okay, and one more URL, I think it's not that one. Raghu DevOps B53. Yeah. Terraform, right? One second. Yeah, you will find out all the repositories here. Let me put this URL. Go to the wiki and you'll find out GitHub link, right? So GitHub link, I already, oh, I didn't update this. This is actually going to be this URL now. That's it. So if you open this URL, okay, you'll find out all the repositories. Now we are writing the code which is related to Ansible, right? So you will find out Ansible somewhere. It's not there, right? So I think my script is still running. Let it run and you should see them.
Okay. And then the other thing is like how you were able to look at the individual components, we call the individual components files through your repos, the files where which.
Everything is available here. So you're looking for, like, let's say a RoboShop, a shipping, you see this, and RoboShop right now we just access the system D service file, right? So where that was is catalog. Yeah. You go there and you'll find out the same content actually is being pushed here. Syncing. I'm just doing some syncing.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, you can go to this link and you will find out that particular one. Thanks for reminding. I thought of updating, but I didn't update. Yeah. And you need to automate this.
Yeah, I was going to that shell scripting link, and
Right. The old one. Yeah. Right. Okay, cool. So yeah, and here it is. Is this we're talking? Yeah, I think this was fine. Now if you see here, it's actually went through fine. So now the user app is also done. So yeah, with less efforts, basically you are keeping your code dry and making the thing. So then yeah, so it's just going as simple as possible. Then you have other components as well. So let's complete them as well. So other components are related to some Java and some kind of Python, right? Some kind of Python basically. Now to them, so how do I do that? So I'll just do the same way. Okay, I'll not do, because today we have only one Java service. So tomorrow there might be another Java service can come into picture, right? So I want to just keep it dry. So the same way I will just make it here, the task main.yml. So include common role for Java. I'll say common. I'll say Java. So let's go to the common, and you have this one, and you'll say Java. Now it is the Java. So what you are doing? Okay. So that means it is a shipping service. What you're doing? So you go to the shipping one, and I'm install Maven. So you're actually installing only one package. So then you know to really give it as a list. So you just give Maven. Okay. So create application user, download artifacts. Download artifacts also will go through. Why? Because you have vars. So that means I have to keep the vars. So we put it here. Done. Just open it, and I will shipping, and let me grab the URL. Shipping. Okay, and this is the URL. And again, so when it comes to Java or YAML, download artifacts with curl as goes, it goes just as is. Now actually now you have Node.js dependencies. I don't require this because no, what I have to do is mkdir cd shipping and compile the package basically. Okay, so set up compile basically, so um, compile and build package. Okay, so there's a keyword, and you go inside there, and actually it's not actually, it's gonna be this one. I can just go with no, I'm not sure, is there any module which is related to the Maven module Ansible, which is necessarily not correct actually here. Using the Maven so inside the server side is not a good idea, because we didn't approach the continuous integration. If you do the continuous integration, these steps will change a little bit. Okay, so in that case you don't really require this. Okay, so for now it is okay. I'll just go into the component, and so it's a shell command you will be using. If it is a shell, then you just run it. So I'll go for shell Ansible. So shell module, so chdir is something which you have to do, and cmd and chdir. This one, and clean package, and you should be doing as a RoboShop user, and that's it. And systemd service file, it's same again. Let's go to the systemd service file. Go to the repos and rs hyphen shipping systemd service file. cart endpoint. So cart hyphen env dot domain db host SQL hyphen env dot domain. Okay, so this is what I wanted to do. You say Java system service file main shipping. All right, cool. Now let's see the behavior. Now try to understand here. So one scenario I want to talk about here is you're running everything, right? So if you just go on the playbook and you're running everything, I don't want to run everything. I don't want to run everything. I want to run a particular tasks. Okay. And so even if you put a when condition also, it run every task, but I don't want to go that way. It just goes and says it is skipping. So that's where you see the skipping part coming to certain nodes, and only one node it is running. Okay, so I want to, if I say catalog, it should run only on the server of catalog, and it should run the catalog component on the catalog server. That's it. It should not go with any more servers. Then how do I control that? Okay, how do I control that? So that can be controlled with something called as a tagging. Okay, so I'm using tagging here, so it need not to be the for that particular scenario. So you have tags basically, so which can do that. Okay, so now name demo tags. So the host is actually going to be all, or you give localhost, and the tasks is actually going to be is the name is so print okay, so like let's say DevOps course. Okay, so I'll just go with the debug module and I'll say welcome to DevOps. Okay, so the name, like let's say AWS course, and the debug is actually going to be used. So it is actually is AWS. Okay, fine. So then if I want to run only one, so then basically core when I can make so course underscore name is equal to DevOps. Okay, and the same when condition I can keep it here and course name is equal to AWS. Okay, so you can do this. All right, but this is still gonna execute that particular other task and say it is skipping. Okay, so I'll go to the basics. Let's get pull and Ansible hyphen playbook, Ansible hyphen playbook, which is 08 tags.yml file. And when variable is not there, hyphen e course underscore name is equal to DevOps. And what it is telling is could not resolve. Oh, debug spelling wrong. Now you see this, welcome to DevOps, it is getting, but AWS is actually skipping. I don't want even skipping. I want to completely ignore it. So when condition is not the scenario here I'm talking about. Okay, so when condition, we're already approaching it, right? So, but I want to go a bit further, and I never want to show this output also that it is skipping. I never want to validate it first of all. So how can you do that? So that comes with the tagging. Okay, so that's where the tags comes into picture, and I will say this is a DevOps tag, and this is so the tags comes into picture, and this is AWS tag we are doing. Okay, you can give multiple tags so that becomes it as a list here. So now if I just go and run this, so this one, and if I don't give anything and run it, so both will run. So now you will see DevOps and AWS since there are no tags. But if I strictly say you run only DevOps tagging, so you see this, that AWS course will not even show that. You see that AWS is no more coming. Or if I give AWS, that the DevOps will never come in. The DevOps also never show it's not even skipping, right? Now I want to grab this particular approach and I want to say to this my roboshop.yml file, So stating that I would like to go with the tagging. Okay, along with the conditions, I'll say the tags. So this is cart and tag. This is catalog and tag. This is user and the tag. The next one now. So is actually going to be is the user and shipping. Okay, so now I go back here, do lscd shop project and git space pull. And now I will just go and say that, I want to run YML. Now I will say I run a tag of cart, only cart will run. So it's running cart currently, and no other components it will run. So that it makes my life easy, and also just to save some time also. Makes my life easy at the same time. It saves time. Okay, you don't need to run against multiple unnecessary servers. Okay, so that's it. That's it. So the others are simply saying that it is skipping because of when condition, and so yeah, that's all. So whatever you want to run, you can run only that particular component. So probably today's time up. So tomorrow we'll just continue that shipping and payment. Once you're done with that, so we'll just go to the databases and we'll set up those as well, and then followed with front end. If everything is there, then probably we can just go ahead and okay, test our application basically, whether it is really working or not working. So any enhancements need to be done or something like that. Okay, so that's the idea, and that's all from my side for today. Any questions? Any questions? Okay, all right. The questions will meet in tomorrow's session and we'll continue there. Okay, thank you. See you tomorrow. Bye. Good day. Good night.